Okay.
Yeah, so with the help of the Almighty, we came here to stand in front of you can see it's unbelievable, like 6 floors up. They threw down stuff that cracked the windshield. They threw down chemicals, Clorox, feces. And this, I believe, is all because, unfortunately, the Zionists, they were able to convince a lot of the Americans that they represent Judaism, and the ones who are opposing them hate the Jews, anti-Semitic. There's nothing but vulgar, repugnant, and repulsive and false in that. Jews have been living so many years together with the Palestinian people. We have a difference of religion. It was never an impediment to coexistence. We have so many of my colleagues who are here. We have this rabbi over here. His grandfather, I remember, he's not alive. His father, rather, he was not alive anymore. I remember he was a fighter in Jerusalem who had demonstrated, and they beat him with a baton, the Zionists. And he moved away because he didn't want to be under Zionist control. The Zionists are the ones who hate the Jewish people. They wanted to make Jews transform their subservience to God to nationalism. They totally abhorred to be subservient to God, the Jewish religion. They wanted a pure nationalism, so they stole the Star of David. But being that they don't have any morals of God, so they use the narrative, they use the Jewish religion as a cover in order to protect themselves, in order to stifle anybody who sees the evil, the genocide, the carnage they're doing in Gaza. And if they speak up, what they say to them is, oh, you hating Jews, how vile, but they don't have God's morals. They're totally not with God. So therefore, they come to America, and in America, people are demonstrating, and they can throw dangerous objects from a 6th floor, and people don't even complain because they become numb to the suffering of Palestinians, and they bought into that the ones that are opposing the Palestinians are simple, they're protecting the Jewish people. It is so ridiculous. It is an insult to common sense, and it is so false, because it is these Zionists that have spilled almost probably 100,000 of the blood of 100,000 people they've killed in Gaza just now. 76 years of occupation, full of rabbis they've murdered and assassinated. As we're standing here, there are rabbis in prison because they refused to go to the army, or because they were in Palestine, in Al-Quds, Jerusalem, or because they were demonstrating peacefully. We never carry guns. We never carry knives, and they're getting arrested, brutally beaten. And the world is silent. So we are pleading with our world leaders. We marched on Washington. This last Saturday, we marched to Washington. We had like 100 or more. We had rabbis and then students and children. We went and we couldn't. We had to walk. We had to go before the Saturday. We not got to go on the Saturday, and we had to stay over the Saturday and walk hours. And we marched in the heat, and we marched simply because we are pleading with the world, with our American co-citizens, that they should understand, they should hear that they should. It is criminal what is happening to the people of Gaza. That they should wake up from their trance. They should wake up and speak up for the people of Palestine. And that when you can have somebody throwing feces, chemicals down from the 6th floor, it is because this is terrorism. These are criminals. This has to be stopped in its tracks. It is one narrative, the killing of people in Gaza, to the support that they're gaining in Europe and the United States. We are talking from the heart of the Jewish people, who are, many of us, the great rabbis, authorities of the Jewish communities, right across from Manhattan. We're in Manhattan, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, the largest distinguished community of religious Jews gathered in one place outside of Jerusalem, and there's not one Israeli flag. And they're all stating unambiguously, clearly, that the occupation is against God, against Judaism. It's criminal, even if it would have been in a desolate land, but certainly not by killing or stealing, and certainly not to a people who are our friends, the Palestinian people and the Muslim and Arab people who embraced us and gave us a home. This is all criminal. The American people can and the American leadership, who was given the lofty positions of president and senators and congressmen and assemblymen, they have the obligation to do what the gift that God gave them of a high position, to use it to stop this carnage immediately in Gaza, to bring back the hearts, the lives of Jews and Muslims by removing the impediment to peace called the Zionist State of Israel, the anti-Semitic entity called the Zionist State of Israel, the ones who bring bloodshed and who cause bloodshed and causes hate, the establishment of the Zionist State of Israel that's masquerading in true Judaism, which is against it. We're removing. We have my rabbi colleague is speaking about this. So many Jews. Rabbi Aaron, I just think of the name of Sharari's son Shlomo just got arrested. They're getting arrested. They're sitting in prisons over there. Somebody has to speak up for them. Why? If these Zionists are the protectors of Jews, why are they arresting these Jews? It has to be removed from civilization, just like apartheid was removed, and then we can live together, blacks and whites, in peace. Removal of this cancer, this growth on this beautiful fabric called the Holy Land, where Jews and Muslims and Christians are living, remove that impediment called the Zionist State of Israel, we can live together in peace, inshallah.
I got a question, brother, right?
Thank you.
So what do you have to say to all the Zionists that say the land was promised to them 3,000 years ago and we kicked them out? Because I'm a Palestinian.